You know, I get asked all the time, Kris, do you buy land? Like, is land a good investment? Because we've been hearing that there's a lot of wealthy that are buying up a lot of land, as in like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is now the wealthiest landowner in all of America. And come on, what's he doing with that land anyway? Is he like farming strawberries like I've got growing in my garden right here? Is it something different? Am I missing out on something? Is something about to happen to the price of land? What should I look for? Is land a yes or no? Tell me. Okay.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
I'm interested in land. I bought this land right here, breaking ground next month on an addition for our home. I've got some land I'm buying in another state, can't disclose where we're working on a big development project. Land is kind of an interesting game for me because on the one hand, it doesn't always produce an income, and that violates one of my rules. Like, my investments have to make me money. And yet, with the shortages that we have in the country today, the price of land has been booming because we're missing 5 million homes. And guess what that's doing with the money you can make in development? Land used to be kind of a no for me, but things have been changing. And today I want to share with you the 5 things that make land investment really, really strong. Come on. Kris Krohn, are wealthy people really buying land, or are you just saying that? Well, first of all, it's not Mr. Kris Krohn to you. It's Lord Kris Krohn, because I own 5 square feet of land in Scotland, which makes me a lord. Jeez, get it right. So check this out. CNBC reported that the rich are buying land. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, 52% of the 2012 U.S. land base is used for agricultural purposes, and the average price of an acre of U.S. cropland has risen by about 75% over the last 15 years. This has ignited a trend among the ultra-wealthy to buy more land. And yet, at the end, I'm going to reveal, am I going to buy land just because I hope that 15 years from now it's gone up another 75%? Or does there have to be a smarter strategy at play? Dun, dun, dun. So there are 5 reasons to consider buying land. This is why the wealthy are doing it. Reason number 1, it's easier to predict, right? I mean, think of the crazy volatility that we've had in the stock market just the last month alone. In the price of real estate, supply chain has been wrecked by what's happened in China, overseas, the pandemic. Projecting the value of land, however, is considerably easier to predict than the stock market or other forms of real estate itself. The biggest factor to determine if land will appreciate is how far the property is from the business area. If it is close to where people live or want to live, then the property will most likely appreciate over time. Literally just down in the valley, there are all these new houses right here. When I bought this home 3 years ago, I was like, yes, in the boonies. I can't be bothered. It's just green farmland, like literally wheat stalks and sunflower seeds. Now there's all these houses. And you know what? Because all those homes are in the path of progress, all the land in the area is now being developed. So guess what's happened to the price per land? Whew, it has shot through the roof. Numero dos, land is for lazy people. Okay, that's a little harsh, but really it's about low maintenance, right? A raw landowner avoids the maintenance costs and headaches caused by residential tenants, but you miss out on the cash flow that rental properties can avoid. So for me, it's a little bit lazy.
We have got to get you lazy boys out of these chairs.
Hey, whoa. Number 3, you have low barriers of entry. As in, it's significantly easier to buy land and other real estate with the taxes and lawyers' fees at a fraction of the cost. However, you only make money when the land sells. Therefore, you have to be able to afford to sit on it and basically wait for a while. You might have someone that wants to lease the land. Maybe they want to graze animals on it. Maybe there's people that want to lease it to grow something on it. But for the most part, land doesn't really have a cash flow component. So it's kind of a strategy for people that say, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to buy this land here because I believe a decade from now, this in the path of progress, it's going to shoot through the roof, and I can afford to be patient. And also take into account like what land has done by way of appreciation. Cropland over the last 15 years, as stated, has gone up 75%. That's a very stable 5% a year. You know, real estate as a whole, even residential real estate, goes up on average about 5% a year. I know last year we saw 20%, the year before we saw 10%, and this year we're seeing, again, really high double-digit returns. And that's more of a supply and demand issue that we're having because we're missing so many homes. So if you remove that from the equation, you know, someone that just says, hey, I have all the money that I need, I don't necessarily need cash flow, I just want to see it grow. Well, land can be smart. You can set it and forget it, right? Wait a decade or two, sell it, and then maybe you double or triple your money. That could be really cool. If you're in the path of progress, it could be a lot more than just doubling or tripling though. You know, there are first world problems that come with being rich, right? I mean, if the wealthy are moving into land and you have to ask why, it's because if they get a windfall of cash, they need to place it somewhere and get it doing something productive. It can take time to find all the different productive investments. So sometimes it's just easier to drop it into land because of benefit number 4. There's less competition, right? Many investors ignore raw land, which means less competition. Therefore, you have a higher chance of purchasing the land that you wish to own. Or maybe someday you're gonna develop it, or maybe there's something that you wanna do with it, or maybe whatever. There's usually a story behind land because before a commercial building, before multifamily, before anything, there's always land. As in, think of Disneyland, right? People thought Walt Disney was crazy in California when he bought all those hundreds of acres. You look at it today, happiest place on earth. Can you imagine what that thing is worth?
No, he wants to go to Disneyland. Why you want to go to Disneyland, man? Disneyland.
Hey, Kris, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm buying some real estate. Like, literally, it's that simple as that. Did you know that? Did you know that you can freaking research land on the other side of the country? You can literally buy it, you can sell it, you can do everything right now entirely from your laptop. And you're like, no, Kris, you need a notary. No, they have those online too. Trust me, I know, because my hand doesn't hurt anymore from signatures. It's like clickety click, signature, signature. I just love all that stuff. So literally when it comes to buying property, if it were a piece of real estate on it, you'd want to do an inspection, you'd want to do a title search, you'd want to make sure there's no title issues. Man, land is so incredibly simple that click, click, and you're done. What's that? What's that you say? Oh, I can't hear you. You didn't say Lord Crone. That's my name. Remember? Scotland? I'm a lord. But seriously, you might be wondering, Kris, so are you buying like a lot of real estate right now in the form of land? And the answer is, if it's for development, the answer is yes. Am I really just buying and holding land to buy and hold land other than for passion projects? No, you see, I need my investments to produce for me, and making 5% on my money over time, it's not a bad diversification, but it's not a core strategy. I need my money producing double digits, triple digits, quadruple digits. And no, your financial planner would not approve of this message. And when I wrote this book, I knew they would hate it. This book is free to you as a gift from me to you today. It's called Have It All. It's the roadmap to becoming a self-made millionaire. And it includes 5 strategies for outperforming the stock market, outperforming land, and making the real kind of money that gets the rich wealthy literally in under 5 years. It's not hard, it's not luck, and it's not get rich quick. It's just a strategy. And there's no book out there in the marketplace that is sharing what I am here in this book, which is why I want to give it to you. So click the link below, cover the shipping costs. The book itself is free, and all of the gold nuggets in this full color book that I'll be shipping to you will show you literally with just a few hours of your time the roadmap for how you become a self-made multimillionaire in under 5 years. But Kris, I wanted to buy land because of how easy it is. I get that it's lazy. But if you want to make the real money, then you got to get into real estate that can produce a cash flow. That means land with a building on it. I know what you're thinking, Kris. I've heard about the landlord trap. I've heard about the nightmare that tenants can be. I don't want to get in that game. And you're right. There is an ugly side of real estate, but there's also a good side. And click here if you want to see the good and the bad and the ugly of investing in real estate, what it's really like. Literally right here from the comfort of your home, right here at your computer, one and done, bam, bam, slammy, ma'am, damn, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes the words just don't come out.